Hey guys, wanted to bring you another YouTube video. So obviously me living in Vegas, wanted to touch base on the Oakland A's moving with some new information that recently transpired. So obviously we're taking a look at the Google Maps. Right here was supposed to be the 49 acres of where the A's were supposed to build, and they were asking for public money, $500 million from Vegas. Obviously, we don't want to really paid for a stadium, especially living here, especially T-Mobile and Arena right here was financed separately, and then um, you have Allegiant Stadium. I'll show you down here, south. So right there, that was public funding. That was not touched either. That was through the hotels tax. Um, And obviously, that almost hurt really bad because of COVID and everything, how there was no tax revenue coming through for the hotels. So for them, now they're thinking, it's because originally they said, oh, yeah, we want to have 49 acres, easy access. If you've been to Vegas, as a lot of people have, I thought that was a great location because if you look out, this is easy to access. You could take side streets. Once you get to here, get off the freeway, it's easier access. Obviously, it's a lot of congestion. One of my earlier videos, when we were told that this is where they were going to build it, I thought that was a great location. I was excited because I think it is very congested on the strip. And I don't see how you're going to build a stadium right here. Here's a Tropicana. Before COVID, it's one of my side hustles. I used to do Uber quite a bit on the strip, and it was frustrating, especially on Saturday nights with lots of events with like the MGM when there was a boxing event. Right here at T-Mobile Arena, you could have like a concert going on, or even a sporting event like the Vegas nights. Even down here, you could still have events like usually you don't have anything really going on with Excalibur, but Mandalay, that's where you could get some congestion there. So now, if you're going to put the stadium, let's you got here as the potential corner of the ballpark. I don't like that location. Right here is not too far from the airport. Harry Reid. Then you got it's a so if you're looking at October, you got potential hockey game here at T-Mobile. Then you got a baseball game, if I know that big if, because the A's don't make it to the playoffs often. And then you might have a football game here. That is really bad traffic. The longest I've been stuck in traffic before was a couple hours here because there was three events on Tropicana. So I don't see why that would make sense. And it's only 9 acres for the stadium. You're jam packing a lot of things there. You're asking pretty much it's only $100 million off the original price that you're asking from the public. Um, Another thing is we have a special session, or not a session, a regular session that they have to get it proposed and sent over. I don't know why they changed the location after 20 days. It just really seems like they don't have a plan. Just like it reminds me of Oakland, how they played Oakland and just did not have a plan there. Um, so the owner, obviously, I'm not a big baseball fan, but I know a little bit or enough that when you have bad ownership, just like Michael Jordan, you're not going to have a great product. And so I just don't see how, even though he might make a lot more money, Fisher, the owner, that he's going to spend more money on the product. I've gone to the Aviators game. I thought that was a better product for the more bang for your buck. in that sense. Um, so I just don't like the new location. I don't know if you're looking at per acre, it's still pretty expensive. I think it's more expensive per acre what you're asking, even though um, it's like 1.2 million. No, wait. No, it's 1.4 million because the original asking price is 1.5 billion. And it's only $100 million discount if you think about it. So, and that's assuming they didn't even say if that is the minimum that they're asking 395 million or if that's the maximum. I just smell a rat with Fisher and the A's, the way they do business. At this point, I would rather not have the A's and have an expansion team because if you have bad ownership, you're not going to see. And just like I would say, if you compare to Miami, LA, there's a lot of things you could do here in Vegas. I don't know if you want to spend your hard-earned monies on the A's if they're coming, unless you got maybe like the big teams like the Cubs, the Dodgers, the New York Mets, well, pretty much both New York teams, Yankees, pretty much those big markets. You're going to sell out and get the highest price there, yeah. But I don't see how they're going to depend 70% of ticket sales coming from the locals because that is not very easy access. The Aviators ballpark, the AAA team, it's pretty easy to get on and off there. Even getting out of the stadium, it was pretty easy. So it wasn't as congested. Like I said, if you're going to put it on that side of town, it's going to be very congested. There's really going to be no parking access. Tropicana is one of the few places that has free parking there on that side of the strip. So that's another drawback. Now you got no really accessible parking. You're going to have very expensive rates or surges for Uber or Lyft. So yeah, I just don't think it's very smart to put it down there, to be honest. Like uh, I think they should have stuck to that side of town. Um, or even the north side, there's actually more free parking on this that makes it more accessible. And this is where there's Treasure Island that gives you free parking and Fashion Show that gives you free parking. This is where I thought they could have used this free land or some of this land that is between the resort world could have been used there. That would have been another good spot. Um, they could have torn down even Circus Circus. That's I believe free parking also because nobody really go there. If you're thinking of tearing down Tropicana, I'd rather tear down Circus Circus at this point. Um, that's going to bring more life on that north side of the strip. So if you're a local, would you actually go to the A's game, knowing it's going to be actually on the strip? Because a lot of locals don't even go to the strip unless they have guests or anyone coming over from out of town. But yeah, if you're going to put it a little bit off the strip, that's more easy accessible for locals. Then that's where you might hit that 70%. But if you're going to put it on the strip, you're going to have to reverse that number. It's going to be more like maybe 30%, maybe 50% at best, that you're going to have locals go to the game. Um, so go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and together we can build better tomorrow. Thanks.